Hey, leaders, I want to drop a truth bomb on you right from the get go. Our emotions, not our thoughts, motivate us. Or as John Gottman says, your emotional awareness and ability to handle feelings will actually determine your success and happiness. So I'll go back to our emotions, not our thoughts, motivate us, move us forward, or keep us stuck exactly where we're at. And in today's episode, emotions and you, the leader, we're going to be tackling this topic with 4 key points real quick and in a hurry around how emotions drive you, stop you, keep you stuck, and keep you in a pattern of limiting beliefs that impacts you, your success, and your team, and even those relationships at home and with family that you cherish. So we're going to dive into this topics about emotions and you, the leader, in 3, 2, 1. I'll see you inside the sandbox. All right, I'm coming at it quick and in a hurry, and I want to go back to this thought from John Gottman. Your emotional awareness and the ability to handle feelings will determine your success and your happiness. Great work and research out of the Gottman Institute all around emotional wellness, emotional intelligence, emotional health. And why am I bringing this subject up again in the sandbox? Because last week I had the opportunity to speak with a group of people, which is always one of my most favorite things I get to do on a daily or weekly or monthly basis. It is always the highlight for me because I love the questions people bring up. And I go in to talk about how to have bold conversations and how to ask powerful questions and how to navigate conflict in the workplace and how to manage yourself while managing others well. And so this group, there was a couple of questions that came after I was done around, I love how you gave me questions to ask in conflict because I feel like my emotions get the better of me. And I was like, well, they probably do. Well, what's a power play that you can make when the emotions start to rise and your brain gets hijacked in that moment and you're not sure how to navigate, right? Because it's the emotions, not all the things that are swirling, the thoughts that are swirling in your head. That's not actually sticking, like causing you to stay stuck. It's the emotions you've attached to those things. It's the word picture emotion that you've attached to the words and the pictures that you've created in your head. The emotions win out. We move in the direction of the dominant emotion. It's a way that our brains are wired. So the more aware we can be of the emotions that we have when they're coming up for us, we can push the powerful pause button, take a breath, and think about and ask that next best question to self or others so that you slow down those emotions, you slow down those spinning thoughts that are actually pushing you to that emotional level. And today I wanted to come in and talk with you as a leader of why this is important for you to understand when you're leading other people, why it's important for you to understand how your emotions might be hijacking you and your team. Because point number 1 in this 4 points today, awareness is your entry ticket to every conversation you have with your team, with those around you, your awareness to yourself. When you're aware of what's going on in here, it actually creates you to be aware of others around you. It creates a situational awareness in that moment because you're you're sensing into what you're experiencing in that moment. If you are dysregulated and hijacked and emotional, then guess what? You're not going to be aware of how others might also be emotional or shutting down, retreating, walking away from whatever's happening in that moment. And you just think whatever the thought is you're having in your head of, people are ignoring me, or they're incompetent, or I'm so frustrated because they don't listen. Your emotions got the better of you. And the people are reacting around you to those emotions that you're not aware of. So awareness is your entry ticket to every conversation and to problem solving at every level. That's point number 1. So then how do you become aware of your emotions? It's about tuning into your own being, tuning into the triggers that you have, tuning into, I'm going to say, the emotions, the gut feeling, right? The heart rate, the blood pressure, the sweat on the back of your neck, the frustration that you feel, the nails on the chalkboard that you hear in those moments, tune into that, and it will open up your mind and open up you to what's happening around you for you first before you can address other people. So awareness is your entry ticket to solve for them, but first you got to solve for you. Number 2, vacancy is as dangerous as volatility. What do you mean, Tam? I have seen many leaders, and I heard it last week with this group. Someone chimed in and said they don't speak up and ask questions. They're reading the room, and they can tell from their leader around them through how they're behaving in that environment, whether it's safe to step in and engage with a question. So they read the room. Well, guess what? Vacancy as a leader is as dangerous as volatility, because if you're a volatile leader and you're blowing up and you're blowing steam and your point shoot delivery style, everything's a have to, got to, get it done now kind of moment, and everything is urgent and everything is an emergency, then nothing is a priority. Right? That's as dangerous as vacancy, meaning if you shut down and say nothing, if you sit and remain quiet, if you don't engage when you see others around you on the team, whether it's a team you lead or a team you're partnering with, you see the emotions and you don't know how to respond to it. So you vacate from the premises, you pull back, you sit silent. That's just as bad as volatility. It's just as dangerous. Why is that? Because it pushes people away. It says you're not safe. It says you don't care. It says you're only there for your own self-preservation. It says whatever storyline that each individual is building on you based on how you're behaving. Vacancy, sitting quiet, doesn't mean anything to anyone except the storyline. I mean, let me say it this way. The vacancy, no vacancy, right? The sign on the outside of your door, no vacancy, means I'm not here to care to engage. I'm just here for the bottom line. And that tells people they can't trust you. And that tells people you're in it for self-serving reasons. It also can tell people that you're not someone that they can confide in, to come to talk to problem solve with when they're stuck. So then they muddle through to try to get a project done or get something over the goal line all on their own, when really collaborating with you might have been the best strategy. But your no vacancy sign says, peace out. I don't have time for this. And it is as dangerous as blowing up and erupting. So I want you to think about that, because then that means where's the middle? And I'm not talking about milquetoast melly middle. I'm talking about where's the middle between that vacancy, what's causing that for you to retreat, versus volatility, which the other person that might be blowing up on the other side. Let's find the middle and let's have a conversation about that. And then we can solve for the rest of it. Because then we're going to go into number 3 of the 4 points. Self-efficacy fuels collective efficacy. Now, remember, self-efficacy, it's the degree to which individuals can see that they can succeed, right? That they understand and knowing that they can succeed at the role, at the task, at the job. When they see that for themselves, it creates a team collective efficacy that we can win at this. Great example, football game. We have a teenager who plays football. Big game the other week. Happened to be like really big game for them. Homecoming and everything. And we're talking about the game the morning of, actually the night before, we're having a conversation about it. And all of a sudden, he starts coming up with, well, we're not going to win this game. It's just the chances are very small that we're going to actually win this game. And I'm like, whoa, where's that coming from? Well, the coaches said, and the team feels, because this team, they're bigger, they're stronger. They've got a better team than, more players than we do. They had a deeper bench than we do. So we went through all these reasons. They'd already talked through all the reasons why. So the self-efficacy was not, hey, we can do this. I can do this. The collective efficacy was not, hey, we can do this. It was actually that we can't. We're not going to, because here's all the reasons why. See, your team probably does that too. They probably have those moments with you where if they don't see themselves as an individual being able to succeed at it, they're going through and having that conversation at the water cooler with somebody else, which now creates a collective efficacy that we can't win at this. Now, thankfully, the teenager has, me to come in and go, hold on a second. And we reframed and we revisualized what success would look like. They played an awesome game. They played an excellent game. What I'll tell you is when the frustration hit at a certain point in the fourth quarter of the game, you could watch the collective shoulder pads drop, not into a sense of, we got this, but into a sense of, yep, we were right. And the unfortunate thing is, because there wasn't any conversation on the sideline that was happening, there was a whole bunch of other things. And truth be told, there really were some bad calls from the refs. However, it was a really great visual to see how we can go in with one belief and have those emotions take over and motivate us in a different direction and not for the positive. Self-efficacy fuels collective efficacy. So when the key players on your team start speaking against what's possible, that because their self-efficacy, they can't see themselves succeeding at it, guess what? It bleeds over to the collective efficacy. And you have the power to change that. Number 4, words create pictures. And pictures create your performance. Let me say that again a little more clearly. Words create pictures and pictures create performance. Why am I talking about this? In my preparation last week for my speaking engagement, I actually went to one of the chapters in the Playing in the Sandbox book and in preparation for it. And it was around the 50-50 communication and why that's important. But I stumbled across chapter 4, which is emotions in the workplace. And I got to reading that going, wow, that's still so, it's so valuable. It's so real that words create pictures and pictures create performance. So when we visualize the end, just like the teenagers were doing about visualizing the loss, guess what? They were creating their own performance plan in that moment. And how many times, I wonder, leader, might you be doing the same thing? Words create pictures in our mind, and we attach emotions to those pictures, and we move in the direction, as we said at the beginning, toward that dominant emotion. So if you're creating a picture, your team's discussing and talking about a picture that isn't what we want, change the words, change the picture, visualize where you want to go. Check your emotions at the self level first. I'm not saying check them at the door. That's not always realistic when you walk into the room and it's a supercharged room and you didn't realize it. Check your emotions in yourself first. Be aware of what you're reacting to and how you're going to process through. Don't forget you can push pause and take a break. Don't forget you've got 24 hours. You got a 24/24 option, right? And maybe you need that 72 hours. So it's 24/24/24 of the push pause, take a break, address what's going on in you first. Go back to the conversation to address it, and then check back in a third time 24 hours later to see how we're doing and that we're still on the same track. That is one of the easiest tools I can tell you when you get hijacked in your emotions. But it really comes back to your awareness is your entry ticket, which is number 1. It's so important. See, emotions aren't the enemy. And so many times, I heard this the other week with this group last week. Oh, I can't get emotional. I don't want to get emotional. They're making all these rational reasons why they don't want to get emotional. And I get it. Okay, you don't want to be emotional. However, they're not the enemy, your emotions. They're just the raw material of trust, of connection, and performance. And if you don't own them, they own you. If you don't own your emotions, they own you. So push pause, name what you feel, and decide how you're going to lead through it. That's how you navigate emotions in the workplace. That's how you own the emotions for you as the leader so that you raise others up around you. Remember, awareness is your entry ticket. Vacancy is as dangerous as volatility. Self-efficacy fuels collective efficacy, and words create pictures. Pictures create performance. That's what I want to leave you with today in the sandbox. You have the power and authority to master self-awareness by actions that you take every single day. Thanks for joining me in the sandbox today. I appreciate the time that you're taking because I know that you're investing in you to raise you up and to raise others around you up as well. Leadership is not a solo sport. Leadership requires team. Leadership requires self-awareness, emotional awareness, and it requires us to have the courage to stand for what we know, to be our truth, and to do it with dignity and respect to those around us. Thanks for joining me today. I'd love it if you would click like, share, and subscribe to this episode. Drop your emoji in the comments over on YouTube. Head on over, subscribe to the Leadership Sandbox channel, check it out, and share this with people that might need a little bit of an emotional regulator right now. Make it a great day, and God bless you.